We're marketers. Oh, you're recording now? Oh, good. Yeah. So, oh, well, if we're recording, then I've got to go back in time and just talk about the little. So, show your bruise. Come on, show your bruise.
But
Right
I
there.
still
So
didn't get
that,
to the punchline on it yet. So,
well, then start
punchline.
over. Let's go.
You are listening to Author Shenanigans, two authors separated by a common language.
No, you go. You tell it because I've just told it.
Anyway, so the short story is that I heard this is the first time you've had a trash chute in any place that you've lived, which is more than two. And during it, you had to open the door, but it's spring loaded because it closes because there's fire and other things. You get it, and it bangs the shit out of your arm, and you get a bruise. So you're telling me this story about how painful it is yesterday and this morning and everything else, and you segue with this is like, and it's so painful. Oh, and I signed up for kickboxing,
No, but that
and I
was
started
right.
because I'm
Okay.
like, how does this work? Go ahead.
Okay, but the point about the kickboxing is like I signed up for it, and then it says on the thank you page, "Oh, we're going to phone you within an hour to book in your first session." And I was saying it's not really like a one-to-one session. It's like you show up to a group and they've got a schedule and all this kind of thing. But so anyway, they haven't phoned, but I was worried that they were going to phone and say, "Oh, you're going to come in tonight or tomorrow or whatever it is." And I'm like, fucking hell no, my arm hurts. I can barely even like move it like this and it hurts. Like I'm not going to be punching with it and like impacting there and it like
I'm sorry.
vibrating.
Throw that punch again. Put those punched up. You actually
What?
look like you punched before.
Yeah, I
When
have.
when you
Do
did
you not
this,
do you not know that? Have we not had this conversation?
well, and I vaguely remember you doing
I
some
I
kickboxing.
vaguely remember you saying something about you watching yourself, which obviously hasn't happened. I mean, there's only a limit to how much physical damage I can do over Zoom. So.
So, yes, you were punching, and it's like I find it interesting because So what else happened before you hit record was you're going to be going, you're going to be punching. You've got this great stuff that you're doing now. I'm like, your killy scenes are going to be awesome. And then you gave me an ugly face. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. What do you mean ugly face? Screw
Yeah, one of those.
you. You're meant to be nice to me. You know it's Valentine's Day today. Like that's a
Oh,
shitty day to be horrible to someone, especially a girl, by the way.
uh, okay. I'm terribly sorry. I will endeavor to slightly do better. And shall we talk about the fact that it's your birthday today?
Oh, do I have to?
I find it humorous, but please.
Well, then
But
you.
seeing how people are telling me to remind you, so in Slack, which is something that we have that goes on, and all the collaborators and everything, and I'm getting messages to remind me to go and tell you happy birthday when I know it's not your birthday. And I'm like,
Well,
what's going
hang
on?
on. No, it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Right. So it started off as like a decoy birthday so that Facebook
Like a
didn't rumble.
decoy billful.
Billful? What's a billful?
You told me a decoy wallet.
Yeah, what's a billful though?
A wallet.
Oh, fuck. So I was out with Amy last night, right? And Amy goes around telling people, just random people, like theater attendants or bartenders or whatever. It's like, I'm so sorry, my friend's English. She doesn't quite understand American yet. And then she translates she's a gem. She translates everything for me rather than letting me kind of like fumble my way through it. But yeah, so we were out getting oh, so theater tickets. I didn't know what will call was. We had to go and pick up the tickets, and she's
Oh, I
like,
thought that was a British thing.
"No, like I've never heard it before. We call it the box office. It's like you go and pick up your things from the box." Anyway, so that was
Okay.
one, and then I was out with someone else the other night,
And what did
and
y'all see?
oh, so a few weeks ago we went to see the Obama thing. So Pete, what's his face? So anyway, he's like big on Instagram. He used to be the official White House photographer for Obama. And so he's the guy that takes all these amazing pictures and
Oh,
like
okay.
them and blah 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 blah. That it was so good. It was great. Um and he has an Instagram account where like he'll show like things happening like in this administration and then in the previous administration side by side, and it's like a picture tells 1,000 words kind of thing. So anyway, he just kind of talked us through like some of the 8 years and whatnot, and it was really interesting to see like how competitive this guy was, because like he had a bodyguard like Reggie or something, and so Pete's like explaining all this. Sora's Pete's anyway. Anyway, so he's explaining this, and like they had a session in the gym, and they closed down the gym so that like at night or whatever, so that he could play one of the bodyguards, and playing basketball, and like this Reggie guy had like trained for the state and done this and done that, and they're all like, oh yeah, like Obama couldn't even make his high school basketball team, but the guy is so competitive that he goes up against him, and it's like he actually blocks him at one point so that he misses a shot, and then he comes over to Pete like at the end of the session, and they're sweating, and the whole game's moved on since then, right? And he goes, did you get the shot? Did you get the block? And so the poor dude is like, normally he's telling people like his job is like completely, totally chill and easygoing, never any pressure. And there he was, like the president of the United States, standing over him and saying, waiting to see if he got that shot. And he's like, I'm not a sports photographer. I don't do this. I mean, normally it's like people standing around in rooms. I mean, like this is out of my depth. But I just figured they were practicing and playing. I mean, it's not as if it's like a state kind of. Yeah. So funny. So funny.
Interesting.
But then we went to see School of Rock last night, and that's where she had to explain to the waitress, and then and she does it in an English accent as well. She puts on her best English accent and takes the piss.
And what's the quality of Amy? I happen to know Amy, so I know who we're talking about. But how is the quality of her accent?
Yeah, it's really good. Okay. Plus, her humor. Like, she's sharp and witty and devastating. And so, no, she's very entertaining. So,
she's very entertaining.
Yeah, I just stand there and wither and go, oh my God.
And then you were getting back around to the fact that you put February 14th as your birthday, and now people are all.
Yeah. So it's not actually, it's tomorrow, but like it was a decoy thing to stop Facebook from recognizing that I've got 2 accounts. So
why not? Let's put it on the 14th. And now it is officially bitten you in the ass. And you have fans on Facebook wishing you happy birthday.
I know, but like you're not going to keep like explaining it again and again, like every message, like, yeah, but it's actually tomorrow. And because like they've already done the effort of like messaging you, so it's easy and actually, it's only like 3 hours and 8 minutes off. So
and that 3 hours and 8 minutes, we checked and we figured out you were born in the ocean.
Yes, technically, if I were on Valentine's Day rather than.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have been any part of Valentine's Day. If we had moved it 24 hours, where would that have lined up 24 hours previously? Oh,
England.
Right back where it was. Yeah, England.
So there's no getting away from being English. See, when you have this accent, you're fucking stuck with it.
About 20 hours. How about 20 hours back? Where would it have been? Would it still have been somewhere in England? I mean,
no,
how many?
We're only on one time zone. Like most of Europe is in one time zone. Like maybe Europe's in three time zones. Yeah.
We got 3 or 4 ourselves, so we're pretty sure.
Oh yeah, 4.
Yeah.
And then unless you include Hawaii.
Oh, I hadn't thought of Hawaii and Alaska. Because Alaska's
like 10
on it.
hours.
Oh, I don't know.
It's from the UK, from GMT. Alaska's what? Does it poke out that way?
Huh?
It pokes out.
I don't know where you're pointing.
That way.
For me, that way is south.
No, clearly that is west. Like,
clearly.
So clearly my nose is at north, no matter which way I'm turning, right? And so this is female logic.
Oh, do tell.
My nose is here, that's north, right? Because that's how I look at a map, and that's how I look at a computer screen. So that way is west, and that way is always west because it's west, right?
Yes, of course. Okay, so west. Yes, Alaska is actually northwest. So if you were to point west, north, you would point to Alaska.
West.
What the hell are you doing?
North, west,
Oh, this needs to go fucking viral.
I don't think it will. I rant too much. Um, huh.
And then, so you were talking about football. That was something else I found interesting when you're like, and I'm like, well, are you talking soccer football or football football?
Why were we talking about football?
Um,
Oh, that something's not a spectator sport. Oh, killy. Right. So, yeah, you were on about wanting more killy death stuff in
no, I was just
game.
asking if that means that you're going to be able to ride it better because you're kickboxing, because you're
Again.
being very aggressive.
Well, no. Oh, okay. You mean like just as in state and mind and whatnot. Apparently, I'm always aggressive though, according to my collaborator.
No, what I specified was you're not passive aggressive. You're aggressive aggressive. If you choose to be aggressive, there's aggressive. You're passive aggressive, like I mentioned in the author notes, like a sniper rifle, where you have nothing and then bam.
So sorry, how is that telling me that I'm not aggressive?
No, it's only when you choose. A sniper doesn't shoot all the
Oh,
time.
you mean like very targeted aggressive? Okay, right.
I don't know. Now you're confusing me. That's not good. So back to
Done.
the 14th, and that explains. So there we go. Two science fiction authors talking about a birthday.
Oh, we're wrapping now, are we?
Yeah, I figured. I
Okay,
don't know
yeah.
how long
No,
is this.
sure. No, let's go. And we should probably get back to talking about it's like
The book.
we started talking about Molly 9. That's what we were on about. And
Yes, that's true. And then all of
like,
a sudden we went, oh, your hair. So I was actually the whole reason this ended up was because you were telling me about your hair.
oh,
And
you
I
made me
happened,
change my headphones because you couldn't hear me or something, or because I was mumbling.
yes.
And then while we were like not talking about Molly, I said, "Oh, so yeah, my hair," and I gave you an update on my hair.
So the update on your hair is that it is back to mostly okay
Kind of,
from
yeah, it's getting there. Look.
from violet and green and blue and the other miscellaneous colors. And I happened to mention that in the whole time I've known you, you've only been happy with changing your hair to a weirdly weird color one time. And
No, no,
it's
no. Hang on. No. Let's qualify this. It's when I've been to a salon. I've only been happy with it once.
okay, so if you do it, you're
When I
happy.
do it, I'm blissfully happy most of the time, unless I do something stupid. What?
A
I made a
nice
mistake once.
and what happened?
Well, you kind of saw the effects of it, because
I'm
so
asking for the people watching the video.
so I thought it would be fun to put some streaks of color in it. So I chose a blue that I really liked, and obviously like blue doesn't go with blonde hair because then it turns out green. So it was blue, like with little
Oh, that's true,
streaks
because blonde is actually kind
for
of a yellow.
yeah, right. So
I think
wish
physics
I'd
people
thought
would know
this
that.
out. Well, no, it's chemistry, remember, and we've had a conversation about chemistry. So I just kind of randomly put some streaks of blue and I thought, oh, it's fucking cool. And I loved it. And then I washed it and it went green and it went green and green and green and it was shit. And so I
Algae hair.
found a what?
Algae hair.
Yeah, it was awful. Um, and it was this was around Halloween, right? And then we had the conference and I was trying to look like a grown up a little bit at the conference, where there are going to be actual real life writers there and, people that I should probably make a good impression on. So I was trying to strip out the green with a hair strip, which kind of worked. I mean, like in this last time when I was at the salon, he found some green that was still in there and was able to lift it out, or he said that he was able to lift it out, but given everything else, I don't know how much he was bullshitting me. And he said that most of it looked like chlorine deposits anyway. And like I was in the pool like before I left LA, like it's been too cold here. Anyway, I covered up the green or the green tinge and the funny like color that it goes using mostly silver, which kind of makes it a little bit gray, and violet because violet counteracts the bronziness. So I like overladled it, and I think you came up to me at one point and you said that someone was saying that I thought Ellie was blonde, but why is her hair gray? And I think there was some comment like, "Oh, I was trying not to make John look so old." So John's got white hair.
And then this John is?
Huh? He's got white hair.
No, John who?
Oh, John Truby.
Okay, so for those that don't know, John Truby is?
some screenwriting
You know very
guru
well who he
bullshit
is.
or whatever.
Okay, so anyway, John Truby, you can check his book out. You know, it's on there, but it's on writing stories.
Don't, because it's too complicated.
Okay, it's too
Everyone that I've ever known who's actually bought it and tried to read it, unless they were French, they've cried.
French?
Right, no, so the reason...
Why are the French not crying?
Because the French are brought up on hardcore philosophy, and they're actually, their education system is very kind of like detailed
Frenchy.
and hardcore and Frenchy, and yeah, like the only, like, so I studied in Italy for a year, and like all the people I was surrounded by were like really kind of like, they thought in this particular way, and they found this kind of thing really like fascinating, like the abstract thinking and stuff. I mean, bear in mind I was in the theoretical physics department, but I think like generally the education system is set up so that they can do it like that, right? So they're not very practical when it comes to other things, but when it comes to this particular methodology of thinking. So all that to say is like the book is probably really good, but even I haven't bothered to dive into it. But I've attended some classes, so like the classes are great because it's like practical and it's applicable, and you can see like all the moving parts, and it all kind of magically comes together, and you come out of the class and you go, holy fuck, I could write a TV series. I understand how it all works now. And like you can, I mean, like I went from like never having written anything other than like, unless it was in numbers and letters and stuff, to writing symbols. Yeah, honestly, like I had a big hang up because like the only thing that I'd ever written, other than my thesis that kind of had words in it now and again, was in mathematics. So
okay, all right. So at that, and so just clarifying for the people that were watching, that was John Truby that you were being nice to.
I was being nice about. Was that right?
Yes.
I don't know. It also.
Okay, so just also to put this in context, what she said before is we're actually sitting here working out the beats for not only book 9, 10, 11, and 12. We have to do it for 9, but we're looking at the bigger picture so that we understand the arcs of them going across. And because we ended up changing out headphones, we ended up talking about hair, and the next thing you know is like, we really should have just been recording this. And then before I know it, she's like, oh, I hit record. I'm like, wait, what? And there we go. So 2 science fiction authors talking, a little bit of a shenanigans. We got to get back to book 9. Bye, Ellie.
Goodbye, Ellie. Oh shit, hang on.
You've been listening to Author Shenanigans.
2 authors separated by common language.
I'm Ellie Clarke, author of... I couldn't even say my name then. Here we go.
That's right. Go ahead. Did you spell it right?
Fuck off. You've been listening to Author Shenanigans.
2 authors separated by common language.
I'm Ellie Clarke, author of The Ascension Myth.
And I'm Michael Anderley, creator of the Arthurian Gambit.
And you can check out other episodes on lawnfairies.com. Bye for now.
Ciao. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen.